have silence in the room because we have a live stream going on at the same time, so we will need complete silence in the room. Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here, and welcome to the official press conference ahead of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships here in Cali. This is proving to be quite a busy summer for athletics, but we're extremely happy to be here and ready for a week full of action. Here with me, I have the honor of welcoming Seb Coe, President of World Athletics, Ramiro Varela, President of the Local Organizing Committee, and World Athletics Ambassador Mike Powell, who accessorily is still the world record holder in the long jump. First things first, I'm going to ask Seb to come to the lectern and do his opening remarks. Thank you very much.
Laura, thank you for kicking the show off, as you always do on these occasions, and let me first of all thank you all for being here. This is a big moment for us because those of us who were in Oregon at the World Championships will know that this is very much about the Americas. We had the World Championships just a few days ago, hugely successful, big broadcast numbers, good crowds in the stadium, and an opportunity to really drive the importance of track and field in the US. But here we are in our under-20s just a few days later. And actually, if I just park that concept for a moment, we are, of course, back in the Americas in 2024 for another edition of the World Under-20s in Lima. So this is a huge moment for all of us and a great opportunity to drive the importance and really energize the importance of our sport, and particularly in Colombia. And here I pay particular tribute to Ramiro, who has always done everything he possibly could to promote the sport. I think we're back. We were here in 2015 for the Under-18 Championships. And I think we recognize that at junior level, these championships have always consistently been a cradle for talent. If you go back to 2002 in Jamaica, it was the opportunity for Usain Bolt to crash into the global landscape. And of course, in 2015 here in Cali, we had two young athletes that debuted on the international stage, Sydney McLaughlin and Mondo Duplantis. And I really don't need to lay out their credentials, given what they both achieved in Oregon just a few days ago. What are the few statistics very quickly? We have about 1,500 athletes here, which is very, very good. These are challenging times. Travel is not easy. Many countries are still dealing with the aftermath of COVID, and some are actually dealing with it in still a very profound way. We're back up to the sort of the numbers of countries that we had in Tampere just a few editions ago, about 140, which is great. We have 15 athletes here that debuted in the World Championships just a few days ago, and we have 8 defending champions from our previous World Under-20 Championships, which shows that the bloodline, the heritage and the history is still being created in front of us, and I'm absolutely convinced that this will be a championships where fresh talent will be unearthed. And actually, over the years that we've staged the Under-20 Championships, I think I'm right in saying that these championships will mark the 20,000th athlete, that has competed in the Under-20 Championships. Let me also immediately thank the local organizing committee, Ramiro its president. As I said, he has always been at the forefront of promoting our sport. The under-18 championships here were a very, very successful addition. In fact, for those of you who now enjoy mixed relays, it was at these championships in 2015 that we road tested the concept of mixed relays. We refined on a few occasions, particularly during our world relays as well. But now we have the finished product. But the beginning of that journey was here 7 years ago in Cali. So we also tried an event without national anthems. That was less than successful. So I can assure you we will be having national anthems here in our medal ceremonies. And again, thanking you, Ramiro, and through you, your teams that I know have worked so hard to create these opportunities. I think we are due to be joined by the mayor. I'm not sure whether he is here, but let me thank him and the municipal authorities. We always know that these events are never the creation of just one single organization. You need the backing at local and national level. So I'm really grateful that the mayor is able to join us this morning, and through him, thank him for the availability and the flexibility of all the municipal authorities that make these championships possible. And of course, all our partners. We value our partners. We have a very good portfolio of commercial partners who make these events possible and allow us to globalize on these occasions. So thank you for being here. I'm really looking forward to the next few days of really high-class competition. This is a very, very important moment for athletes. The real challenge, as any coach that is with us here today will tell you, is navigating a young athlete from the junior ranks into the senior ranks. Mike works with high school students predominantly, but he knows that taking an athlete from the age of 18 or 19 into their senior national teams is a big challenge, and many don't make it. And that's why these championships are so important for not only identifying young talent and figuring out the type of resource that you need through member federations to apply to them, but also to give them encouragement and nourishment that they're part of a journey into the senior teams. And people like Mondo and Sydney, and we talked about Usain earlier, have made that journey. Many don't. And that's why these championships are such an important landmark in the pantheon of events that we stage at World Championship level. So that's enough from me. I'm delighted to be here, looking forward to spending time with all of you over the next few days. And I think, Lara, am I going to hand back to you?
Yes, very briefly.
Good, very briefly. Thank you.
Thank you, Seb. Yes, very briefly, because I'm going to ask Ramiro si quieres venir para decir algunas palabras para...
If you would like to come and give us a few words, please. Dear friends, journalists from the entire world, Colombia and Cali, I would like to first of all thank President Sebastian Coe, the Council of World Athletics, the Board of World Athletics, and all of the people who work at World Athletics for having believed once again in Colombia and in Cali. To fulfill the requirements of World Athletics U20 Championships is not easy. And they once again lead us down a path of having a great event, a great sports event of athletics. Second, I would like to thank the Minister of Sports, Mrs. Governor of Valle, and the Mayor of Cali, as President Seb mentioned, for so much generosity with sports and with athletics, with Cali and with Valle del Cauca as a region, for having supported us. And in which way so? In such a way that we are presenting the world with a great sports event. To all of you, friends, today we have a great volume of athletes, more than 1,500. It is a record. And This means that a bigger group than 150 athletes have the possibility to be in the Olympic finals or in the final of the Oregon Championship that just passed. So this means, ladies and gentlemen, that we are here with the best in the world in a junior category, as was Sebastian Coe at its time, Usain Bolt, and so many others that have transcended in the global scenario of athletics. Finally, you will see next Monday, in the first two competition sessions, a great athletics stadium, an Olympic stadium, a soccer stadium that has been transformed into a World Athletics Stadium and that can be qualified by those who know, those of us who know the venues of athletics in the world, as one of the best with all of the infrastructure that is necessary to serve this technical rigor and technological rigor that we have here in Cali. We will set a very high standard of what Seb has pointed us out to build users and fans of athletics. So this has to really be done strongly, with decision, with dynamics, to be able to motivate the growth of the number one sports by excellence, that is Olympic. And here we will have full sessions in the Pascual Guerrero Stadium, and we will be having a record. The record is that 6 days we will have the stadium full, President Seb. 6 days of the stadium full of audience in a junior championship. A lot of excitement, a lot of work. And of course, I would like to thank a team that was formed in 2015 and that we have transformed into a team, a local organizing committee, into a very structured team to be able to serve the requirements of the press, the media, and so many visitors. I feel happy of having people, dozens of figures and people who are here in Cali, with Mike Powell at the top of the list. Our acknowledgments, because he is still here with his Olympic market. Seb, to you, millions of thanks for believing in the development of athletics and for generating a space for growth for a sport that is forever, that is indicated to keep setting the Olympics. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias, Ramiro.
Thank you very much, Ramiro.
Thank you for being here. I know you were also in Eugene, Oregon. I think you had a good time there. It's absolutely fantastic to see you still here, sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, your passion with the youngsters here. I know you coach. I know your eldest daughter is also quite a good athlete. She competed in Oregon. How can you still have so much passion, and how do you want to share it with these youngsters here? Yes. Turn it on.
Well, there you go. I love athletics, and so for me to be at the competition is where I want to be anyway, and it's my job to be here, so I love it. I love the young athletes. I coach young athletes, and like you said, my daughter's competing now, for Canada, and she was at the World Championship. She's on the way to the Commonwealth Games now. So I've always been a big fan of the sport. So for me, I'm happy to be here.
And Mike, there's so many fantastic long jumpers in this room. Some of the past generation, in yourselves, and I can see Robert, Rémian here. But also we have the future of the long jump here in Erwan, Mattia, Natalia. How eager are you to see the long jump back to where it belongs?
Oh my goodness. Good question. I am really looking forward to seeing the competition. I was telling the guys earlier that they jumped further than I did at 19 years old. I jumped 8:05 and they jumped like 8:12 and 8:08. So they're good. So this is the kind of environment, well, hopefully they go out there and jump 8:20 maybe 8:30, something like that. So they can see what it's like to be a champion. And so maybe we'll be seeing maybe the future world record holder out one of these guys. I've had the record long enough, so they can have it now. I'm kidding. You know, I'm playing.
Who knows, who knows? And as you say, you're still a fan of the sport, so can I ask what your favorite moment of Oregon was, and is there something in particular that you're looking forward to here in Cali?
My favorite moment in Oregon?
Yes.
Actually, it was the men's shot put. That was the most exciting event to me, you know, to see Crowder do what he did after Kovacs came in through that far throw. But I mean, a lot of events were great, obviously. But like I said, I'm a fan of the sport. You know, the 5,000 was good too. But here, I mean, obviously, you know, I'm always partial to the jumps. And now that I met the jumpers now, some of the men and the women, I'm going to be right there cheering for them and looking forward to the crowd going, ooh. That's what we jumpers, well, that's what we jump for the crowd to go, ooh.
Well, thanks, Mike, as always, for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have time for questions. If you do want to ask a question to any of our gentlemen here, please do raise your hand. We have microphones in the room. Do not be shy. Si quieren hacer preguntas ahora,
If you
el
would like to
momento
ask any
sí, por
questions,
favor.
this is the
¿Puedes
time for
entregar el
that,
micrófono
please.
al señor?
Please hand a
Gracias.
microphone to the gentleman,
Creo que
please.
está encendido.
I
Sí.
think that it's on. Yes.
Buen día.
Buenos días.
Good
Un
morning.
abrazo deportivo para
A
todos.
sports hug for all of you. I would like to ask Sebastian Coe. First, thank you for being here as president of the World Athletics here. And also, Mike, we're very happy to see you here in Colombia. Mike Powell, very well known in athletics. President, being here in Colombia before the Olympics that start on Monday in competition, what feeling do you have right now of this under-20 championship? We already had a minor one, but this under-20 that has athletes that are very close to being in the next Olympic Games. What feelings do you have, and what can we see at a mark level here at this championship? And for Mike Powell, what have you thought about Cali? What have you thought about Colombia in these few days that you've been here? And what do you remember of all these different scenarios in athletics and what we can see here in this championship in Cali? Thank you.
Is that working? Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for the question. For me, these are the most important championships because when you go to a World Championships, you tend to know roughly what you're going to witness. You know the names that have emerged, you know the athletes that are in form, you've watched their careers through the youth categories into juniors and then juniors into seniors if they've made that journey. But I genuinely think the most reflective audit, if you like, assessment of your sport is not in the senior ranks, it's what's going on below that. And to see the type of talent that I know will be on display here will be very, very encouraging. I can't remember a time when I've been more optimistic about young talent coming through in our sport. In Oregon, 40% of the athletes were under the age of 25. 51% of the athletes in Oregon had never been to a World Championships before. So this is a huge opportunity for all of us who are always monitoring the health and the progress of the sport to really understand what we're likely to be witnessing in 3 or 4 years' time. And there will be athletes here who I hope are fighting it out for Olympic medals even as soon as 2024 in Paris. That is more than possible. So for me, the excitement of being here is very high because of the young talent that's on display And it will help us as a sport, as a global sport, to understand the needs that many of our federations have when it comes to helping fund their own world-class programs and identifying talent, nurturing that talent, putting the right coaching to it, and then witnessing it performing on the highest stage. So for me, these are the most important championships if you're looking at the demands and the needs in coaching for the next 3 or 4 years.
Thank you for the question. When I first got off this is my first time to Colombia, first time to Cali, obviously. And when I arrived at the airport, I received a really huge welcome from the volunteers there, showing me how friendly and nice they were. And everybody's been that way towards me. People have been asking me for my autograph, and they actually know who I am. They have to look at my tag first. They're like, oh my God, they're so excited. And so me being here is like being in Los Angeles. It's warm weather and beautiful women, so I love it here, you know. So, like I said, I know that this area is known for the cuisine and also for the nightclubs and for the good food and stuff. So I'm looking forward to experiencing all of the above.
Thank you, Mike. I think we have a question behind the camera. Maybe you can go from that side, probably easier. Thank you.
Okay. My question is for Lord Coe, Kermit Taylor, Nassau. Going back from World Youth and World Juniors, great performances always came out of the Caribbean. 2010, Shawnee was a rising star of 2010. 2011, Anthony Strong was Rising Star Award in both the 1 and the 2. And in 2015, here in Cali, this has been Taylor, Kristen Taylor, would have had an outstanding performance in the boys' 400 meters. Any expectations in your mind, anything that comes to mind that now to be back here in Cali?
Hello? Yeah. The last thing any athlete needs from me is to start predictions. That's the kiss of death. But if you look at the 8 athletes that were competing in Oregon, I think you have to say that they have an outstanding chance. And what I like about these championships is you've also got athletes that are here from the last edition of our World Under-20 Championships in Nairobi that are here defending because of the nature, because of the challenge that the calendar underwent when we postponed the Tokyo Olympic Games. We have 2 back-to-back. So this is unusual. We'll be able to watch a good deal of, I think 8 athletes actually defending their title, which is fantastic.
Thank you, Seb. There's a question from that side again, please. The man in the white T-shirt, and then we have one from here. Yes, please. There, behind you. Yes.
Yes, Clayton Clark, Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Coe, can you just give us an idea, the numbers in terms of the participation? Is it growing? How diverse it is in terms of getting more countries, more athletes to participate in these championships?
Yes, on balance, these championships are becoming more popular with every edition. Clearly, there were some challenges last year in Nairobi because of the travel bans and some of the quarantine issues. The world is slowly improving, so we're back to the back to the numbers we had in Tampere at the previous edition before COVID hit and we went into, the lockdown years. But I see these championships as a really important, in a way, launch pad for so much else in the sport. And I think many member federations now see these as a really important thing to support. So my expectation over coming years is that the numbers will rise, and I think the number of countries that want to take part will rise as well.
Thank you, Seb. We have a question from the gentleman here.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Para los medios de comunicación,
For the media and for us in Cali and Colombia, it is a pleasure to have 2 legends of athletics from the world. Thank you for being here in Cali. And Ramiro, congratulations. You really put your skin out for this, and this is now a reality. So it's not easy, and we acknowledge so. I would like to ask the two of you, as president of World Athletics and as president of the organizing committee, what is the most important thing, starting from the base that everything is important, but what is the most important thing that is left for Cali and Colombia after this championship? Thank you. Well, there are several important things. Latin America does not have sports competitive university sports. It does not have school university sports, and that is the big difference that we have with the Northern Hemisphere in terms of the development of athletics. So the great legacy for us and what we are betting our life on is the construction of the university sports, university competitive sports, and the school competitive sport. That is the first big legacy. And I would like to tell all of those who are here that when I was a child, the school and university sports did exist at a competitive level. Second, the infrastructure, sports infrastructure that has allowed us to develop the leadership towards Cali from World Athletics allows us to present the world with an infrastructure, athletic infrastructure, that is uniquely important in the world of athletics. And the third, which is the first place, is a concert, a huge concert of the new athletics framed in these young people who will be carrying out, thanks to the attitude in Cali and to the atmosphere conditions of Cali and the wind of the city of Cali and the track of this venue that I have seen with 3 world records. 7 years ago, we saw it with Seb, Candace Hill in 200 meters feminine from United States. And 50 years ago, I saw Donald Carey, 200 meters world record from Jamaica, and in triple jump, Pedro Perez Dueñas from Cuba. So that is the great legacy of the construction of the new athletics in Latin America, so that it gets a little bit close, once again, to the Northern Hemisphere in terms of development of athletics.
Yeah, it's a really important question, because the days have gone where we can just stage an event, enjoy it, have a lot of local people getting excited, and then we all leave on the caravan to the next event. It is absolutely crucial that bidding cities are really clear about what the legacy is, and that legacy can't be left until the championships are over. The responsibility of the organizing committee is primarily to deliver a great event. If you look for legacy, then you need to be asking questions of political leadership, both at a local, a regional, and a national level. So I always make the case that the most important responsibility for an organizing committee is a great championships, because if you don't have a great championships, then there is no appetite for anybody to want to drive legacy. So that's the first important stop. The second point is really understand what legacy. You can't have legacy in everything. So really identify when you're making the bid what that legacy is, and make sure government understands that it's their responsibility to deliver legacy, not the organizing committee. And when you get that separation of responsibility, it tends to work pretty well. But as Ramiro has said, he's clear that he wanted to drive the legacy through education, through getting more young people, and particularly universities being competitive again. And I think that is a strong legacy if he can achieve it.
Thank you, Seb. I think we have time for just one last question, because I wouldn't want our athletes to wait too much. If there is anyone who one last question from the gentleman in the first row. Si le puedes traer el micrófono, por
Can you
favor,
bring the mic over,
gracias.
please? Thank you.
Buenos
For,
días.
good
Para el
morning.
presidente
For
Coe.
President Cohen. What importance does it have for world athletics, South American athletics, and from world athletics, what will be done to make it even more powerful after the results, for example, in Oregon? Thank you.
If we talk specifically about the championships in Oregon, we have a very clear roadmap ahead of us from Oregon 2022 through to another very important moment for our sport, which is the Olympic Games in 2028 in Los Angeles. And I won't detail everything that we're doing, but we do recognize that the United States, on balance, for the last 50 or 60 years, has been the powerhouse of world athletics. Sometimes the Jamaicans spoil the party, and East Africa tends to control endurance events. But if you look across all the disciplines, technical, sprints, endurance, America has traditionally been the country that has finished at the top of the medals table. But there is a gap between the success that they achieve in their national and international teams and the profile the sport has in the United States. So our ambition, together with the US Track and Field Federation, is to work closely for the next 6 years in the lead up to the Los Angeles Games. We have an ambition for athletics, track and field, to become the #5 sport in the US, which is an ambitious target. You have NFL, you have NBA, you have Major League Baseball, you have ice hockey, you have sports like Formula One that are beginning to really break into that top group of sports. We want athletics to be there. And we have some good assets to work with. 50 million Americans run regularly. In high schools, it's the most populated and most popular sport, track and field, particularly cross country. And you have a great team. What we need to do is to pull all those assets together and make sure that the United States, right across the nation, understands track and field. And that's not just to help America, that's to help all of us, because that's a big sports market. And we need to start getting a greater share of sports sponsorship. And if we can do that, then it allows us to grow the sport and to increase the levels of funding into our member federations, and in return, the member federations will want to create better and more expansive programs for their athletes. So it's a virtuous circle. So that's really why Oregon was important. And that's why being in Cali is important, because we're not just looking at the United States, we're looking at the Americas as a whole. And being here this year and then back in Lima in 2024 for the under-20s again is crucial.
Thank you very much, Seb. Thank you, Ramiro. Thank you, Mike. I think we can conclude this first part of the press conference, but do not move, because we have our guest athletes coming up on stage in just a second. Thank you very much.
Can I just make, we're sort of talking a lot about long jump. It would be remiss of me not to make the point that Robert Emien is with us today, and he is the current European long jump record holder. So we've got a trade union of long jumpers with us. Nice to have you here, Robert.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, everyone. If we could keep quiet because we're still live, can we have silencio en la sala, por favor? La rueda de prensa aún no ha terminado.
Silence, please.
Gracias.
The press conference is
Se
not
puede
over yet.
un poco de
Please. Thank you
silencio,
so
por
much. If we
favor.
can have some silence. If you can please take your seats.
So we have now the honor and the pleasure of having Mine de Klerk and Letsile Tebogo here with us on stage. Mine, Letsile, I think you can remove your masks while you're here. So Mine is the defending world under-20 champion in the shot put. And you also won silver in the discus throw in Nairobi. And Letsile, you are the defending champion in the 100 meter. And you also won silver in the 200 meter in Nairobi. So guys, you are very experienced already, despite your very young age. Mine, thank you for being here with us today. You had an extremely successful championships in Nairobi. As I said, you won gold and silver in the shot and the discus, respectively. I see you entered in both events again here in Cali, and I imagine your intentions is to do at least as well as you did in Nairobi. How excited are you at the opportunity of grabbing maybe another couple of medals here in Cali?
I'm very fortunate to be able to have 2 World Junior Championships in a row, and I'm really excited to be competing again. I've been working hard this entire season to maybe get the gold in the shot put again. The discus is going to be a lot harder this year, I think, but I'm just going to try my best.
And I believe your life is quite different. You moved to the US. You are now at the University of Oregon, where most of us have been for the last couple of weeks. So how different has your life been since you actually joined University of Oregon? Maybe you were there and you watched a few of the events at the World Champs as well?
No, I was not there, unfortunately. It was a lot different at the beginning because of the time difference from home, so I couldn't really talk to my parents that much, but I really enjoyed it. The people are really, really nice. I really hoped that I would have stayed to watch the World Championships, but I was getting a little homesick, so I just wanted to go home.
And it's not unusual for under-20 athletes to actually compete in multiple events and be very versatile, just like yourself. Is there one of the 2 events that you would say is your favorite and easier or harder to train for?
I personally like shot put better. I think it's because I've been doing it a longer time than the discus. And I don't know, I just really like it. But the discus is also on top of my list, so I enjoy doing that as well.
And who would you say your throwing idols are? Are you more of a maybe Valerie Adams fan or Valerie Allman? Who would you
I'm
pick?
definitely a Valerie Adams fan. I think it's because I was also born in New Zealand, so I think that is also why I chose her, but definitely Valerie Adams.
You should have been in Oregon because she was there.
I know.
Letsile, you were in Oregon, not as a fan, but you competed there and you actually ran really, really well. Just 15 days ago, you broke the world under-20 record, ran 9:94. How amazing was that race?
The race was really amazing, and competing against the big names was a little bit tough for me, but I held my head up and I did what I did.
And you're here to defend your world under-20 title. You just broke the world record. It's fair to say that you're the hot favorite for gold here in Cali. Does that put a little bit of pressure on you? Does it make you even more confident?
Firstly, I think the boys see me that almost intimidated by just seeing me before we ran. And I think for me, we have closed the season when we ran the world record, but if breaking the world record again comes in mind during the days, I'll have to do it, and I'll have to consult my coach and discuss about it and see and attempt the world record again.
And obviously, as a teenager, your world is obviously on social media. You posted about your world record. Have you gained a lot of followers? Has anybody famous complimented you on social media? How's your social media profile changed?
I haven't really been on social media that much because I know it's a distraction by itself. So I try by all means to limit the time there, and I haven't realized anything new.
Okay, well, take a look when you're done hearing. In Nairobi last year, you won the 1, you came second in the 2, but unfortunately, in the 4x1, your teammates didn't make it through to the final. Is that something that you're also looking forward to here, the 4x100 meter relay with your team?
The boys are ready, and we're looking forward to taking the gold medal again, and not again, but try to get the gold medal and see what else can we bring out of ourselves.
Well, thank you, guys. I think we can open the floor to questions if we have any. Yes. ¿Puedes traer el micrófono al
Can you please
señor
bring
para
the mic
atrás
over
ahí?
to this gentleman over here?
Hi, this is to you, Miss from Botswana. You made the semi-finals. You did the record in the heats. Were you disappointed you didn't get to the finals? You broke the record. How you assess how you did there in Oregon? And what were the highlights for you?
I wasn't disappointed because of the world record. I was still excited of the world record, and me being on the semi-final on itself was a big achievement for me. The first World Championships at a young age and reaching the semi-finals. It's a very big stage for one.
Thank you, Letsile. Do we have any other questions from the floor? Yes, right next to you. Thank you.
Question to Mina. Just wondering, like, what you've learned, I guess, and taken from the experience at the University of Oregon and competing in that very tough level of the NCAA.
Is it on? Okay.
Should be on.
It's been really fun competing at the NCAAs because a lot of them have Olympic experience as well, and they're a lot older than me. So they pushed me to my limits, and I just liked the little bit of adrenaline that it gave me, and it taught me how to handle the pressure a little bit better.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions for either Mine or Letsile? Yeah, I can see Cathal is eager to ask one more.
One more. To Letsile, I'm sure you had a lot of chats in Oregon with some of the other sprinters from even different countries. Could you tell us, did any of them say anything to you about your performances and your talent, or give you some advice?
Hey, there are a lot of athletes who came to me, but Wayne van de Kerk was one of the people that came, Fred Cali, and Christine Coleman. What Kelly told me was, don't worry, boy, we still have a long way to go, so don't give up now, keep pushing until you reach your limits. See you again. And what Van de Kerk said was, you did the world record, and we are proud of you. The rest is history. Thank you.
Thank you. No more questions? Yes. Let's go again.
Me?
No, at the back. Sorry. Yes. Thank you, Seb.
What's next for you? Your final year as a junior is professional, college. What are the options? What are you looking at?
Currently, I'm working on going to college. I think because I've been to USA a couple of times, and the best school by far is the University of Oregon, of which soon, I think mid-September I'll be there.
So you're going to be high school mates, college mates. Good. Michelle, a question there? Yes, thank you.
This is a question for both of you. I know Seb briefly mentioned it, and there's the stereotype that, especially coming from Africa, there's normally the middle distances, the distances that the continent excels on. But you both are showing that in the throws and in the sprints, it's equally strong. How important is it for you to inspire next generations to show that you can excel in other events, in field events, in sprints?
I think especially since throws are not getting as much attention as, for example, the sprints, I really want to inspire more people to participate in throwing event or any other field event so that we can rise and be on the same level as all the sprints and maybe break as much world records or national records like distance or anything other than that.
For me, it's a tough one, but for myself, I really love to change how Botswana is seen and Africa is seen from the long distances to short sprints. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh yes, a question from the side. ¿Vas a hacer la pregunta en español? Okay. I think you guys, do you have the translation? Yes. Okay.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very
Bienvenidos a
much.
Cali.
Welcome to Cali.
¿Hasta dónde?
How far is there a possibility today for you to be able to represent your countries in the Olympic Games in France? Is it viable according to your current marks, or is it difficult to classify to the Olympic Games so that we can project precisely to be able to project yourselves? Like today we see you in Cali, but we can also see you in the Olympic Games in France. Thank you.
Really want to get to the Olympic Games in France, but I'm still a long way from the qualifying. But I think in 2 years, if I keep working hard and believing, then it is possible for me. I'm not going to be hoping to make the final there, but I will just be going for experience. So I really hope that I can make the team.
For me, I think I'm not far from qualifying for the Olympic Games, because I think for the first Prefontaine Classic, I ran with the big names again, and I ran again at the World Champs. So for me, the confidence is very high for me to compete in the Olympics and make it to the final.
Thank you. I think we can conclude this second half of the press conference. If there are no more questions, I can't see any more. Thank you so much, Mine. Thank you so much, Sile. Good luck. And we'll
Thank you
see
for
you
having
on the
me.
field of play. We'll take a group pictures after this. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I don't think these guys need an introduction, but I will anyway. Mike, are you still here? So this is the future of the long jump, the present maybe. Robert, are you still here? You know them well. So we have Erwan Konate of France, the defending world under-20 champion from Nairobi. Natalia Linares, de Colombia, también salto largo. Y Mattia Furlani of Italy, who just won 2 gold medals at the European under-18 championships in Jerusalem. I think I'm going to start with Erwan. Thank you for being here in Cali. I know you've been looking forward to this moment for a long time. As soon as you won gold in Nairobi, you said, I want to be in Cali. I want to defend my title. Not one day had gone by and you'd already been thinking of this time. But you also said you wanted to break the world under-20 record here in Cali. Is this still the plan?
First of all, I'm so sorry for my English because my English is so bad, okay? Sorry. Yes, first of all, my goal here is to have fun with my friend Mattia, because now I have a new friend, I have a new competitor, very good. Oh, it's hot for me now. My goal is to have fun, to draw the best, and why not record, and why not gold medal?
Erwan, as we've been saying, you train in Paris with Robert Emian, who's still the European record holder in the long jump. Mike, you've had quite a few jump offs with Robert. I think you're still very friends. What is it like to train with Robert in Paris? What has he taught you?
Oh, it's very special for me because he have a lot of experience in his life, a lot of tips, a lot of love, big love, because I love my new coach, and he spent a lot of love in me, and I love this experience and love these vibes with my coach, and it's the best for me to perform in big competition like Cali.
And Ewan, not only are you an extremely talented athlete, long jumper, but you're also a model for some of the famous brands in the fashion industry. How do you manage at such a young age to successfully balance so many careers?
Yeah, it's very complicated for me because I have a lot of speciality, and I don't know. I'm young. I have the time. I have the energy to training and to go in Fashion Week in New York, Paris, or Milano. And yeah, for me, I'm just have fun in my life. I'm young. I just live my life, and it's so good for me. Good experience with World Athletics, and good experience with modeling like Burberry and another brand. And yeah, for me, just a big experience, very nice for my life.
Good. I believe you've been here in Cali for quite some time now. How much do you like the culture? Do you know some salsa moves already?
Yeah, I training my salsa with my coach for the video on Wakali. Yeah. Yeah, Cali is very nice city. Very nice city, very nice people. The people are very I know, I love these vibes. Good dancer, like salsa. And the song was very nice. I listened Cali song and very nice. I love your music, Cali man. Very nice. No, Cali is very nice. Just the weather was different in the day, like raining in the first AM and sun at PM. But it felt good. I don't care.
Well, we hope we have as much fun as you're having in this week. Natalia. Muchas gracias por estar aquí con
Thank you very much for being here with us today.
Creo que
I think that it must be a great honor for you to have us here and to have the championships in your country. How much have you prepared yourself, and how much have you waited for this moment? How excited are you? Well, it is an honor to have you all here in my Colombia, in Cali. I'm from Valledupar, but very happily I greet you here in Cali. I have been waiting for this for 3 years, for this moment. I went to Nairobi last year, but 15 days before I had COVID. So they won with 660. I was doing 660. Unfortunately, I couldn't represent my country as I should have. And today I'm here, home in Cali, with my batteries on. This season, we opened it up really well with 679 of the last games, and honestly, we hope that the two of them are going to fight for the under 20 record. I am going to be doing it for a female category as well. And as you said, you were also in Nairobi, and it didn't go as well at the end as you would have wanted to. But what experience did you get from having competed there last year? Well, that was my first World Championship, and I think that the experience of just having been there with those competitors, because we're all very strong, great competitors, my colleagues out of the track, the environment changes, so we're not rivals, but we're friends. And it was a very nice experience that I had in Nairobi, a different country. The weather was different. People also were very friendly in that country. But nothing like Colombia, nothing like Cali, so we're here at home. So it turns out that my best results have been at home, so I want to take advantage of being here and give a great presentation. And Natalia, the only gold medal I think that Colombia has won in the under-20 championships was Edera Navarro when she won the 10,000 in 2012. Do you think that it is time to give this to your people, another gold medal? Well, we are leading the ranking, the under-20 female ranking, long jump, and honestly, I am very hopeful and I have a great illusion to be able to give my country that medal, not just our country, but all this process that I have been doing for the last 3 years with my coach and my team. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that other than the long jump, you will compete in the relay, 4x4 relay. And what feeling does an individual athlete have in athletics to have the opportunity and the chance to compete with your Colombian colleagues in 4x4 in a team? Well, the competition in a team is very different than the individual. I think that I enjoy more the 4x4 than the long jump. When the team wins, you feel the excitement. The excitement is different, the love for the country, because we're really competing for the country. It's not an individual thing that each one is doing, but each one is giving the best to give Colombia that win. So we hope that also we can make the finals and we can be at the podium. And I'm very happy. I'm even nervous, but no, I'm extremely happy to represent my country in the group and individually as well. Natalia, thank you very much, and best of luck for you.
Thank you for being here as well today. You recently competed at the European Under-18 Championships. You won not one, but 2 gold medals in the long jump and in the high jump. So you're competing in both events here, and if everything goes to plan, you'll be competing, I wrote this down, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and on Friday. Are you ready for such a busy schedule? Hai capito la domanda? Te la traduco. Mattia is going to answer in Italian, I think.
No, sì, farò insomma alto e lungo, sarà veramente un tour de force per chi intenderà. Sì, no, proverò comunque a andare forte in entrambe le discipline, iniziamo subito col lungo, vediamo come può andare. L'obiettivo come sempre è gold medal. L'obiettivo è quello, poi vedremo come andrà, però darò sempre il massimo di me e l'obiettivo è migliorarmi e cercare la mia miglior prestazione.
Yes, of course, competing in both events will be like a tour de force, but I'm here for the gold medal and to improve my personal bests in all of the events. I'm ready and I will go and do my best. Mattia, I know your family is particularly devoted to athletics. Both your parents, I think, were athletes. A high jumper, your dad, a sprinter, your mom. They both coach you. Your sister also won a bronze medal in the World Under-20. Tell us a little bit about the special family that you have.
Beh, sì, diciamo siamo una famiglia di atleti. Mia madre, che è la mia allenatrice, è stata un'atleta anche lei, insieme a mio padre, che è stato un saltatore in alto con 2,27 m di personale. Mio fratello, che è un saltatore lungo, che diciamo che per me è la mia ispirazione più grande in allenamento, mi aiuta sempre, soprattutto nel lungo, e nella mia ispirazione nell'alto appunto è mia sorella, che ha vinto tantissime competizioni, è riuscita ad arrivare anche nel podio internazionale diverse volte, e sono loro le mie più grandi ispirazioni e cercherò di riprendere da loro, e la mia famiglia insomma mi supporta sempre per la mia competizione, per queste competizioni.
So yes, indeed, my family is in athletics. My mom, who's here, is also my coach. My dad, who also coaches me, was a 227 high jumper. In the long jump, my biggest inspiration is my older brother, who was also a long jumper himself, while in the high jump, my biggest inspiration is my sister, who managed to win a lot of competition, including a couple of international podiums in her career. So yes, we were a track and field family, and I love them all. You're here with Erwan, Mike, Robert, the crème de la crème of the long jump. Both of you will be competing in the same event. I'm sure you've been, looking at one another. Is it going to be more of a friendly fight, or are you going to try and stop him from defending his title? Ce la farai a vincere l'oro?
Sì, no, no, sì, sì, sì. Mi sento quasi in imbarazzo in effetti a stare intorno a tutti questi campioni, il campione in primis Erwan, che insomma per momento è il re del lungo e nel salto in lungo mondiale, e proverò insomma a batterlo, però so che non è la mia categoria, so che insomma, non è la mia gara, però cercherò comunque di dare il meglio di me stesso, sarò solo più che felice, insomma, se la gara non andrà come deve andare.
Yes, I kind of feel out of place here with all these great long jumpers. Erwan is still the king here. I will try and do my best, but remember I'm still 17, so I still have two more years in juniors. I will give my best, see what I can do. The long jump is not my favorite event, but I will try. And if I can beat him, I will. If I don't, I'll still be happy. And Mattia, in Tokyo last year, the Italian team had a fantastic Olympic Games. They won 5 gold medals. I think the best ever showing. Is there anyone in particular that has inspired you in the Italian team? Maybe Gianmarco in the high jump?
No, sì, abbiamo avuto a Tokyo una fantastica spedizione di incredibili campioni. Partiamo subito da Gianmarco Tamberi, che penso che sia una delle più grandi ispirazioni e uno dei migliori che ci siano stati nella spedizione a Tokyo, insieme a Marcel Jacobs, i 2 marciatori. Incredibile, un enorme onore soprattutto ricevere degli elogi da loro e dei complimenti da loro, e insomma cercherò di dare sempre il meglio di me con la loro ispirazione a fianco.
Yes, indeed. Tokyo was very special for Italy. Gianmarco Tamberi is the first one, obviously, that I will mention. He's been the greatest inspiration for us, but also Jacobs and the race walkers. To be receiving their compliments and their best wishes is actually a fantastic honor for me. I'm humbled by them looking at my performances, and I'll just try and do as best as I can. I think we've been talking for quite a lot now, so if we have a few questions from the floor for either Erwan, Natalia, or Mattia, raise your hands now. I think we have a question from our friend from Trinidad and Tobago, sorry.
To the Miss Colombia, competing at home, is it pressure or you are honored, and how are you coping with, representing at home?
Bueno, estar en Colombia.
Well, being in Colombia, I think that competing for my country and having the possibility to represent it is not a pressure. I think that it is another impulse to do it with a lot of love, a lot of passion, and to be able to get the most that I can and jump to achieve the biggest number of meters possible.
Thank you, Natalia. A question here? Yes, and then the gentleman in the front.
Buenos días.
Good morning, Natalia. Are you aware of the fact that you're the best athlete in your country in long jump, and you can become a great figure, world figure, such as Catherine? Are you aware of that?
La verdad que sí estoy consciente.
Honestly, I am aware of this, and I'm very excited to know what the future holds for me, to know that after I compete, if God wishes so, I can be in the final and get the gold medal that we have been training for. And not just the gold medal, but to be able to get it with a good result, to position myself as Catherine Ibargüen, as Julima Rojas, as these great athletes who represented us at a South American levels and reached Olympic Games. That has been my dream since I was a little girl, so we have to keep fighting for that. Thank you, Natalia. Can you hand the mic over to this gentleman, please? Thank you. Okay, good morning, Natalia. We feel very proud as Colombians and you as a representative. We just had a Bolivariano championship in your territory in Valledupar. You were already at a championship, a world championship, Nairobi. You will be in your second one here in Colombia. The contexts, are they different? Are the tickles the same? Do you feel like a worthy representative of our country after all your work and your marks that have you representing the Colombian selection and the one that has the most options for a podium? Please explain to us if you feel the same, if there's anything different, or how is it to reach an under-20 championship as a hostess here at home. Thank you very much. As we experienced it in Valledupar, it was a very wonderful experience. We're at home in our land, in our city, and people really supported me, and the energy really, there was a flow of energy. And now representing Colombia here in Cali, it's like you said, my second championship, world championship. I had the experience, so the energy, ever since I got to Cali, I have felt energy. You feel the vibe, and I think that I will be able to achieve great things. I imagine myself on the podium, and when I imagine it, I get goosebumps just from thinking about it. I have dreamt it, I have worked on it, and I can't believe it. I know that we will achieve this. So be it. Thank you very much. One last question with this gentleman over here. Thank you. To the athlete from France. I hope that when you get to France, they teach you to dance. You can teach people to dance the salsa that you're going to learn here. Natalia. Last championship that Cali had predicted Anthony Zamorano, the Olympic sub-champion that we have in Colombia, and he was the best in Colombia at that time. Perhaps we visualize also that you will be the best in Colombia, and you can project yourself to end up being also an Olympic medalist. So in that sense, have you spoken to Anthony, who has been close to the Colombian selection? Has he given you advice? Have you had any interaction with him? Thank you. Well, not just with Anthony, with Catherine also. I think that it's not necessary to come so close, but that they achieve the results makes us, those who are behind them, under 20, under 18, inspire ourselves to be like them. Anthony is a great athlete, and what he inspires us is to be a warrior. And he has said it many times, maybe many don't trust me, but the person who needs to trust myself is myself. When at the end of the day, my trust has to be set on me, only on me. And I just wanted to say that for this under-20 championship, as you were saying, Anthony was also there in the under-18 in Cali last time. And he also was going to be a great runner, not in 200, but in 400. And I think that as President Sebastian Coe says, this championships are important for the generation that we're in now to project ourselves to be Olympian champions, world champions. So I'm very excited, not just of my performance, but all of the team and the Colombia selection that has been preparing themselves. We were in concentrations in Bogota, and they have been very diligently focusing on those objectives. Thank you. Thank you very much, Natalia.
Last question for Mike Powell, and we'll wrap up.
Okay. When I was your age, I wasn't quite thinking about breaking the world record, but my goal was to jump, maybe 820, 830. What is your goal? Maybe not for this competition, but in the next year or so. For all three of you.
Oui. Okay. No pressure, just chill. Yeah, I have the Olympic Games in my country in like 2 years. It's very quick, but it's long for my training, and I know I'm prepared this competition for all my life, and for me it's my goal to win the best medal in my country, in France. And for me it's an honor to have this competition in my country, in my family, and I don't know, my goal is to win you fucking world record. Let's go. That's it. That's the goal, and let's go to train now. Thank you.
Mattia, qual è il tuo ultimo obiettivo per la tua carriera? Una misura che vorresti...
Come ultimo obiettivo cioè il sogno penso per ogni atleta sia l'Olimpiade e vincere l'Olimpiade, perché penso sia il top del top che un atleta possa sognare, e il mio obiettivo ovviamente sarà di cercare di entrare insomma nel top mondiale e della storia. Poi ovviamente cercherò anche di allenarmi per insomma battere il record di Mike Powell, ma è una cosa che ora come ora è minimamente impensabile, e però mi allenerò e darò il massimo per cercare di dare il meglio di me.
So the wildest of dreams is obviously to be at the Olympic Games and win the Olympic gold medal. In terms of performances, I'm going to train as hard as I can to maybe one day break the record of Mike Powell. As of now, it's unthinkable, but I will train and train and train and maybe get there. ¿Y para ti, Natalia?
And for you, Natalia?
Bueno,
Well,
como dice Mati,
as Mattia was saying, it is everyone's dream, every athlete's dream to be in an Olympic championship, but you have to work for your dreams. And I have been working, as everyone was saying, for a long time. And for me to be able to reach those Olympic Games, I really dream. That's really my dream, Madrid 2024. And to see Paris 2024 and to see the Eiffel Tower is my dream. And I know I can do it, and my dream is not just that, but to be the first South American woman, not just South American, to reach the 7 meters. 7 meters, looking for 7:15, 7:20. And I think that in the Olympic Games, I also want to be like Unimar. In every competition, go and break a record. And that's my dream as a Colombian, and I always have my tricolor flag. Thank you very much, Natalia. And with these words, we conclude this press conference.
We're wrapping up the press conference, but we're going to take all of our guests to the track to take a group photos with the stadium in the background. So let's meet there. And thank you, everyone, for being here today. Muchas gracias a todos.
Gracias a todos.
Un'ultima cosa, los periodistas que están aquí, hay de tomar por allá.